One of the harshest things we do to our brain is force it to take in blue light when all it wants is to fall asleep. I get it, some nights you just want to finish one more episode. Scroll a little more on Facebook or YouTube. But those few more minutes could cost you 2 to 3 hours of tossing and turning later. Why? Because the blue light from screens messes with your body's natural rhythm. It stops your brain from making melatonin, that sleep hormone you really need. You're not losing sleep because you're getting older. Sometimes you're losing sleep because you haven't shut the world off yet. I once met a woman named Irene, 72 years old. She told me she couldn't sleep well even after trying herbal teas and mild sleeping pills. So I asked her, "What do you usually do right before bed?" She said, "I watch the news on my iPad. Sometimes I read the comments, and the more I read, the more irritated I get. And that's the issue. Our brains can't always tell the difference between real danger and the bad news we see online. It reacts like you're actually in danger, and it just won't let you relax. Want better sleep? Give your brain a gentle shutdown each night. Here are some practical tips. Turn off your phone, TV, and iPad at least an hour before bed. 2. Switch to soft, warm lighting in your bedroom. 3. Instead, try reading a physical book, listening to calming music, or writing a few lines in a journal. Think of screen-off time as a nightly ritual of kindness for your brain. It tells your mind you're safe. You can rest now. There's nothing else to solve tonight. You've made it through a long day. Now give your mind a soft blanket and a quiet space, and you'll be surprised. Sleep will return gently and deeply like an old friend. I used to struggle with sleep too. Not because of noise, not because of illness, but because my mind just kept talking about all the unfinished, uncertain, unclear things. Have you ever been like that? You lie down, but your brain is still racing. Tomorrow's appointment. That message you forgot to reply to. The doctor's visit coming up. A vague sense of unease you can't even name. That's just your brain doing what it always does, trying to solve everything before letting go. But here's the twist. The harder you try to solve it all, the harder it is to fall asleep. I have a patient named Mark. He's 69, a widower living alone. He often tells me I close my eyes, but my brain starts a conference. I think about money, about my kids, and what if I don't wake up tomorrow? So I gave him a simple suggestion. Every night before bed, just write down the 3 things you're most worried about right now. Don't solve them, just write them down. At first he thought it was kind of silly, but after just a few days he came back and said, "It's like I moved the worries out of my head and laid them down on paper." Why does this work? Science calls it mental unloading. When you write down your worries, your brain stops holding on to them like urgent tasks. This quiets down your prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain tied to anxiety and decision-making. What happens next? Your mind calms down. Your nervous system relaxes. Melatonin, the sleep hormone, flows more easily. We can't control everything in life, but we can gently close the door of our mind at the end of the day. Here's how to try it. About 20 minutes before bed, sit down with a notebook. 2. Write down 3 things that are bothering you today, big or small. 3. Don't analyze, don't fix. 4. After writing, take a deep breath and tell yourself, "I'll deal with this tomorrow. But for now, I'm letting my brain rest." You might write, "I'm worried it'll rain tomorrow and I won't be able to go out. I'm not sure if my meds are causing side effects. I feel sad because my son hasn't called, he's probably just busy." Simple as that. You don't need a perfect night's sleep. You just need a mind that's not carrying too much. And you'll sleep as if peace itself is holding you. Not everyone needs sleeping pills, but all of us need a quiet place to anchor the mind before drifting off into dreams. Have you ever lain down, but your head still feels noisy? The lights are off, but inside your mind it's still loud. Old memories, unfinished thoughts, little voices whispering things that won't let you rest. Tonight, try this. Play some healing music or soft, natural sounds. It could be ocean waves, rain falling, gentle, wordless piano, or just the sounds of a quiet forest at night. I once worked with a woman named Clara, 74 years old, living alone since her husband passed away. She often struggled with sleep and told me I'm fine during the day. But at night, my head feels like an echoing house. So I gently suggested, tonight just try playing soft rain sounds. No music, no talking, just natural sound. When I saw her the next week, she was smiling more brightly than usual. I don't know what happened, but I've finally been able to sleep again after months. Why does this work? Natural sounds and slow music can help regulate brainwaves. When you listen to calming rhythms, your heart rate slows down. Cortisol, the stress hormone, drops. Meanwhile, serotonin and melatonin are released, both of which help you drift into deeper sleep. You don't have to be a music lover. You just have to let your ears soften the rhythm still pounding in your chest. Here's how to try it. Choose a slow, soothing instrumental track about 20 minutes long. 2. Turn off all harsh lights. Leave only a warm bedside lamp. 3. Lie down, no screens, no overthinking. 4. Close your eyes and let the sound carry your mind away from the noise of the day. Some good options for older adults. YouTube, Healing Rain Sounds Calm, Piano Sleep. 432 hates sleep music. Apps, Calm Insight, Timer, or Relax Melodies. Or simply an old MP3 playing through a small bedside speaker that works just as well. You've spent your whole life taking care of others. Tonight, let someone or some melody take care of you. Do you remember how it feels to step into a warm bath on a cold winter night? Your body feels held. Your mind feels comforted. You know, I once asked one of my patients, Helen, 76, from Chicago, what helps you fall asleep best without any medication? She didn't even have to think. A warm bath before bed. I feel light as a feather afterwards. Science backs her up. Taking a warm bath around 98 to 104 degrees or 37 to 40 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes before bed can lower your body's core temperature afterwards, which signals your brain it's time to sleep. Expand blood vessels and improve blood flow to the brain, reducing the risk of poor circulation, which is linked to dementia. Reduce cortisol levels and increase melatonin release. Relax your muscles and joints, one of the main reasons older adults toss and turn at night. We often think caring for our health means doing something big, but sometimes it's as simple as a basin of warm water, a soft towel, and 15 quiet minutes before bed. Try this simple practice. Take a warm bath or shower about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. It doesn't have to be a long soak. A gentle warm shower or even just soaking your feet in warm water can work wonders. 2. Add a few drops of relaxing essential oils if you have them. Lavender sweet orange or peppermint are great choices. 3. Turn off any bright white lights. Switch to a warm bedside lamp or candlelight if it's safe. 4. After your bath, put on something comfortable. Sit quietly for 10 minutes and sip some warm water. You'll likely notice your breathing deepens, your shoulders loosen, and your mind feels a little lighter. We don't bathe just to clean the skin. We bathe to rinse away the worries still clinging to our hearts. Warm water may not change your life, but it can change how you fall asleep tonight and how you wake up tomorrow. Some people think I'm too old to bathe at night, but the truth is, as long as the water is a comfortable temperature, you don't bathe too late, and you dry off properly. A gentle warm shower can actually help your circulation and calm your nervous system. I often tell my older patients, if you don't want to bathe fully, just soak your feet in warm water for 10 minutes. That alone can relax your body and help you sleep better. I used to think good sleep was a matter of the body, but after years as a doctor, I've learned good sleep is really a matter of the soul, and a soul filled with gratitude always sleeps better than a mind full of doubt. Have you ever lain in bed, quietly thinking about all the things that didn't go right today? A cancelled appointment, that back pain coming back, the news outside making the world feel a little scarier. Our minds naturally hold on to negative things. It's how we once survived in the wild. But these days, that same habit slowly chips away at our ability to rest. I once had a patient, Edward, 71. He came to me with chronic insomnia. He'd tried everything: pills, tea, meditation. So I asked him, "What do you usually think about before bed?" He replied, "All the things I didn't do, the people I disappointed." I didn't give him pills. I gave him a notebook and a simple suggestion. Each night before bed, write down 3 things you're grateful for from that day. Just 3, even small ones. At first he felt silly doing it, but a week later he came back and said, "Doctor, I think I'm starting to sleep a little easier, even though my back still aches, even though life hasn't changed much, but my heart feels less tense." Why does this habit work? Psychological studies have found writing down what you're grateful for before sleep lowers cortisol, the stress hormone. It helps your brain shift focus toward the positive, activating the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's relax and restore mode. Gratitude boosts serotonin and dopamine brain chemicals that lift mood and support better sleep. You can't feel happy if all you see is what's missing. But if each night you remind your mind of just one good thing, you're gently preparing a peaceful bed for your soul to rest in. Try this simple practice tonight. 1. About 10 minutes before you turn off the lights, sit down with a small notebook. 2. Write down 3 things you're grateful for from today. It could be, the weather was beautiful. I had a lovely call with an old friend. Dinner tasted really good. 3. Don't worry about writing perfectly. It doesn't have to be long. 4. After writing, close your eyes and smile just a little. You might call it a journal, or maybe just a few scattered lines. But it's really a way to hold on to what's beautiful just before you drift off to sleep. You can't control what happens in your dreams, but you can choose the last thing you think about before you close your eyes. Let it be gratitude, not an unspoken worry. I used to be skeptical about essential oils, until one night I tried a few drops of lavender before bed and I felt like I was being hugged, not by someone's arms, but by the scent itself. Have you ever noticed how a single scent can bring back an old memory in an instant? The smell of your mom's morning coffee, the sun-warmed towels in the backyard, the salty breeze of your very first summer by the sea. That's because smell is the only sense that connects directly to the hippocampus and amygdala, the parts of the brain responsible for memory and emotion. That's why, with the right scent, your mood, blood pressure, and sleep quality can all shift. I remember one of my patients, Louise, 68, once told me, "I don't fear the dark at night. I fear the loneliness that comes in waves." But one day her daughter brought her a small bottle of sweet orange essential oil. She said, "I don't know why, but that night I slept better. It felt like something inside me was soothed." Why can essential oils help you sleep better? Oils like lavender, sweet orange, sandalwood, and jasmine have been shown in research to lower heart rate, reduce blood pressure, and calm the nervous system, helping you fall asleep more easily. Their scent stimulates the olfactory bulb and limbic system in the brain, encouraging the release of serotonin and melatonin, key to stable mood and deep sleep. Over time, this simple nightly habit can reduce anxiety, improve emotional balance, and even help memory in older adults. You've lived through many seasons, you're used to sights and sounds, but sometimes it's the soft whisper of a scent that gently reminds your body, it's time to rest now. How to try this? Choose a gentle, natural essential oil. Lavender relaxes and calms anxiety. Sweet orange uplifts the spirit, eases the heartbeat. Sandalwood centers the mind, great for older adults. 2. Use a diffuser or simply place 1 to 2 drops on a tissue near your pillow. 3. Turn on a soft, warm light. Breathe deeply and slowly. 4. Repeat this routine each night like a bedtime ritual so your brain begins to understand sleep is coming. I once said this to an elderly man, a war veteran who slept very lightly and often had disturbing dreams. You don't have to fight anymore. Tonight, let a little scent keep watch over your sleep. At our next appointment, he said, I don't remember the dream I had, but I remember I felt at peace. Never underestimate the power of gentleness. Sometimes a single breath of fragrance can heal a kind of tiredness that no medicine can reach. When we were young, we thought movement was strength. But as we grow older, we realize movement is the whisper of life. And every night, if you listen closely, your body speaks to you in the softest language. Your day might be full of little strains, tight calves after walking through the market, sore shoulders from holding your grandchild, a stiff spine after sitting too long watching the news. All these small things can quietly keep your body on alert mode even after you've laid down to rest. Have you ever felt this? The lights are off, the room is quiet, but something still won't let you sleep. That something is muscle tension. It's your sympathetic nervous system still standing guard. I remember Mr. Charles, 79 years old, a retired mechanic. Tough, sturdy, but barely slept. I asked him, "Do you move around or stretch at night?" He replied, "No nights for resting." I gently offered a different view, but if you rest too fast, your body may not catch up. Give it just 5 minutes to end the day a little more slowly. A week later, he returned and said something I'll never forget. I didn't expect it. But just a few stretches and I felt like I'd unbuttoned a shirt made of tiredness. Why is stretching before sleep so important? It lowers blood pressure, slows your heart rate, and sends a relax now signal to your brain. It releases lactic acid and built-up muscle tension, the kind that causes nagging aches and restlessness. It boosts melatonin, release the key sleep hormone. It improves blood flow to the brain, helping prevent reduced circulation, a top risk factor for cognitive decline and dementia. You don't need to exercise hard at night. You just need to treat your joints and muscles kindly before you close your eyes. Try this gentle 5-minute bedtime. Stretch, you can do it right on your bed. Slowly rotate your neck, left, then right 3 times each side. 2. Raise both arms up high. Take a deep breath in, then lower them gently. 3. Sitting or lying down, stretch your legs straight, then bend your knees slightly and relax. 4. Rotate your ankles clockwise and counterclockwise. 5. Bring your knees up gently, hug them toward your chest, feel your lower back soften. The whole routine takes just 5 to 7 minutes, but the calm it brings can last the whole night. I once had a patient, Rose, 75 years old, who lived alone after her husband passed. She once told me, "Doctor, I'm afraid of the dark. Not because it's dark, but because everything feels so still." And I said to her, "Then let yourself move before lying still. Not with force, just with gentleness. Try this tonight. Before you turn off the lights, stretch lightly. Take one last deep breath. It's not just about taking care of your body. It's your way of saying goodbye to the day with kindness. Do you remember the last time you went to bed, without scrolling your phone or watching TV? When we were children, we heard a story before falling asleep. Now we fill our minds with headlines, flashing images, noise, and we wonder why our brains can't find peace. I've worked with thousands of people over 60, and there's one thing I see more and more, a growing dependence on screens not to rest, but to pass the time. And in doing so, we slowly sacrifice our sleep. One of my patients, Arthur, 74, once told me, "Doc, I can't sleep. so I leave the TV on to keep me company. I asked, "And when do you turn it off?" He replied honestly, "I don't know. Maybe in the morning." Here's what science tells us. Blue light from phones, tablets, and TVs blocks melatonin, the natural hormone that helps you feel sleepy. Online content, especially news and social media, activates the prefrontal cortex, making you analyze, worry, and stay alert. Screen time before bed also shortens your deep sleep, increases vivid dreams, and leaves you feeling tired even after a full night's sleep. We bring the entire world into our bed and then wonder why we can't rest. So what can you do? You don't need to go cold turkey. Just follow one golden rule. Turn off all electronic devices 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. No TV, no phone, no tablet. Instead, use that time to gently return to yourself. Write a few thoughts in a journal. Take 10 slow, mindful breaths. Listen to soft, instrumental music. Talk with someone you love. Or just sit quietly and feel the stillness. I once gave a patient, Marla, 70, a simple challenge. No screens for 3 nights before bed. When she came back, she said, "I didn't just sleep better. I started remembering my dreams. It felt like a part of me, the part that used to dream, came back to life after being silenced by screen light." I know, in this world silence is rare. But if you turn off your phone, you might just turn back on your connection with your own soul. A few simple tips to help you get started. Keep your phone out of reach once you're in bed. 2. Turn on airplane mode or switch off data by 9 p.m. 3. Create a quiet corner in your home, a space with no screens. 4. Let your loved ones know. After 9 p.m. I won't check my phone unless it's an emergency. You don't have to change your whole life, just create a peace zone for yourself every night. You don't need more information at the end of the day. What you need is silence, so that sleep can find you. And in that silence you might even hear the gentle voice of your own heart again. Wonderful! Let's continue with episode 9 of our series 10 Evening Habits for better sleep and a sharper mind. Tonight I want to guide you into an experience that requires no medication, no screens, no effort. Just close your eyes, listen, and let yourself drift. I used to think sleep was purely physical, but over the years I've learned sleep is a journey the mind must be gently guided through, not something you can command. Have you ever laid in bed and your mind just kept running like a car with no brakes, thinking about unpaid bills, replaying a conversation from the morning, worrying about tomorrow? Your body may feel tired, but your mind is wide awake, and when the mind is awake, you can't fall asleep. I had a patient, Elaine, 69 years old, who told me it often took her nearly 2 hours to fall asleep. I asked, "Have you ever tried listening to guided meditation before bed?" She laughed. "Isn't that something young yoga people do?" But a week later, she called me back, her voice trembling. "I don't even remember falling asleep. I just remember someone saying, 'Breathe in, breathe out.' And for the first time in years, I stopped fighting sleep." What is guided meditation? Guided meditation is when you listen to a calm voice leading you step by step. How to breathe, how to relax your body, how to let go of your thoughts, and gently bring you back to a peaceful place inside yourself. You don't have to do anything, just listen. That's the magic of guided meditation. It doesn't ask you to be calm, it carries you into calmness. Why does it work? It lowers brain activity in the anxiety centers, like the amygdala. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, slowing the heart, reducing blood pressure, and calming the mind. It supports the release of melatonin and serotonin, your 2 best friends for deep, restful sleep. For older adults, guided meditation can also boost memory, sharpen focus, and reduce the risk of cognitive decline. Guided meditation isn't just a technique. It's a doorway into your inner world, a place where no matter your age, you can return to stillness. How to begin simply. 1. Choose a guided meditation audio or video that feels right for you. You can find them on YouTube, Spotify, or apps like Calm Insight Timer or Simple Habit. Look for a calm, clear voice, not too fast, not too loud. 2. Use light headphones or play it softly through a speaker. 3. Lie down comfortably, arms by your sides, eyes closed. 4. Just follow the voice. You don't need to concentrate. You don't need to do it right. Just listen and let yourself be led. I once said to a woman who had lost her husband, "You don't have to forget the sadness, but your mind deserves to rest, and sometimes a gentle voice in your ear is the kindest medicine of all. Night is when the world goes quiet, but inside you the noise may still echo. Let a loving voice walk you through that maze back to the place where you can breathe in peace." Every day, how much do your shoulders carry? Worries, duties, memories, and by evening all you want is to let it go. But have you ever truly told your shoulders, "Thank you, you can rest now"? Tonight and every night after, try this. Just 2 minutes of gentle shoulder and neck massage before bed. No gadgets, no special tools, just your hands and a little attention to yourself. Why the shoulders and neck? They connect the body and the brain. When you're anxious, sitting too long, or under stress, the muscles here tighten quietly, restricting blood flow to the brain. This can lead to headaches, sleeplessness, morning fatigue, and long-term reduced brain circulation, increasing the risk of memory decline. You don't need anyone else, just you giving your body 2 minutes of care before the night begins. Simple practice, where sit at the edge of your bed or a chair. Sit up straight, gently. 1. Place your palms on the back of your neck. Move in slow, gentle circles from your neck down to your shoulders. No need to use force. 2. Use your thumb and index finger to gently pinch the muscle between your neck and shoulder. Inhale as you squeeze. Exhale as you release. 3. Switch sides. Repeat for 1 to 2 minutes. If you have herbal oil like ginger or kajaput, use a few drops. Pro tip. As you massage, close your eyes and silently thank your body. No one else has to hear it, but you will feel it. That quiet peace will spread through you. I once spoke with an elderly widow. She'd lived alone for years, and she told me, "No one touches me anymore. Not since my husband passed." I looked at her and said, "You can still heal with your own 2 hands. Start with your shoulders, because that's where we carry all the heaviness. We never find the words to say. You've come a long way. Each day you walk, you worry, you love. So please, each night, don't forget, pause. Place your hand on your shoulder and gently say, 'Thank you. Let's rest now.'" The benefits of massaging your neck and shoulders before bed. Relieves tension, soreness, and headaches. Improves blood flow to the brain. Boosts melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep. Lowers the risk of brain fog and memory loss caused by poor circulation. And most of all, helps you reconnect with your body after a long, busy day. Final note. Growing older doesn't have to mean waiting for time to pass. It can mean resting deeply, one night at a time. All it takes is remembering to hold yourself, even if it's just with one hand and 2 quiet minutes.